We go first against Azusa. And yeah, starting hand's not too bad. We've got the Confounding Conundrum, which I think is going to be amazing versus them. So let's get some lands into play. And that's perfect. So turn 2 Confounding Conundrum. I don't know how they get around that, to be honest, unless they destroy it. Will they quit? Let's see. So if you don't know this card, if they play an extra land, they have to return a land to their hand. And that, my friends, is how to beat an Azusa player. Hello and welcome all to the MTG Josh channel. This has to be the 4th time I've tried to record this because I'm an absolute OBS noob. There are so many knobs and buttons in OBS and it's pretty annoying trying to figure out which one of these was causing the echo. So this is the 4th time. Hopefully this is going to work. I just want to say thank you all to everyone who has liked and subbed to the channel. Anyone who has donated, anyone who supports the channel, thank you very much. You know who you all are. You're very important, especially to the channel's growth. And you may see more of my face in the future because myself and MTG Gnome are in talks to do some collaborative work. So stay tuned and sub to both of us if you are interested in that. It will support both of our channels. And yeah, if you want to see more face cam intros, then tell me in the comments below. I don't know if this is more or less appealing than usual, but it does take more effort, obviously. For one, I have to not wear pajamas. But yes, continue to like and sub and donate. It really helps the channel. And yeah, I'll be seeing you in the near future. Enjoy this video. Like, sub, donate. See you later. Bye. So I've just put the kid to bed. This is a perfect time to play some Magic, and what better way to play Magic than to annoying the utter crap out of your opponents with a Yorion Skynomad deck. So it's an Yorion Flicker deck, as you can imagine. You've probably all seen Yorion before. Whenever it comes in, basically flicker any number of other than unknown permanents you control and own, and return them to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. So essentially it's a way to re-trigger all of your favourite ETB triggers. So some of the best ones to get you to victory are Elite Guard Mage comes in, gain 3 life, draw a card, and probably Cloud Blazer, which does the same but draws 2 cards, gains 2 life. But yeah, just if you can flicker these a few times, you're probably going to win the game. Keep in Panamonican, which doubles your ETB triggers, and Thassa, and your opponent will probably concede within a few turns after seeing this. But the shell, it's really solid. You've probably seen shells similar to this with my own spin. I like to use stuff like Ephemerate, which flickers it with Rebound, and Essence Flux, which can flicker something as well. Obviously getting them off on the Yorion means you re-trigger everything else, which is just crazy. If you like triggers, this is the deck for you. You want to finish the game out with the Meteor Golem, which is one of the best uncommons, I think, in the game. Scholar of the Lost Trove, which can ironically resurrect the Meteor Golem, and you can get 2 triggers if this comes in with the Panamonican out, and Torrential Gearhulk, which can recast a spell in your graveyard. So if you play Torrential Gearhulk, you could get 2 triggers. You could flicker it with Ephemerate, which then flickers itself and then something else. You get the picture. The triggers are crazy. So join me in eating some vanilla ice cream and playing some Magic. Don't forget to like, sub, and donate. Don't forget how important each of those things is to the channel. It really helps me out, and it only takes a few seconds to take a look at doing any of those things. So let's go into the games. We go first against Iluna, and because of the matchup, I'm going to say this is the combo Iluna. So they're looking to get Omniscience out. If you've seen my videos before, you know exactly what that entails. And if you haven't, essentially they're looking to get out little token creatures and then mutating on top of it to get Omniscience out, which is the only permanent in their entire deck. You might be asking me, but Josh, how do you get creatures out if you don't play permanents? Well, there's a lot of instants and sorceries that make token creatures, so that's what they'll be aiming to do. Of course, I could have just wasted my breath for the last 60 seconds telling you this, but I reckon it's going to be that, just based on Yorion here being used. Oh, Esper Sentinel. This is a great card if we can resolve it. Do they counter it? Do they run counters in this build? Well, they've definitely got a ramp. So the Esper Sentinel could be quite good if they're a spell heavy deck. Should be able to draw at least a couple cards. BR curve's looking real good. At least Guard Mage's following turn. And if they do try and counter it, we might be able to draw a card with a Sentinel. It's all about drawing cards with a Sentinel, you see. So let's swing in. Of course, we could just lose at any moment just due to how combo-y their deck is. Cavalier of Dawn, not sure how useful that's going to be in this matchup, given that they're a spell-heavy deck, but the biggest threat facing Iluna is the instant speed token creatures. That's what you've really got to look out for. Ooh, Glasspool Mimic. We could copy one of our guys. Let's start with an attack. So what should we do? I reckon we should copy. Maybe copy the Sentinel. So now we're going to make them pay 1 for each of them. Eureka moment. So that's why I did that. Maybe they should have done that in response if they weren't going to pay anyway. Oh, they missed a land drop there, it seems. So they got one there. Storm's Wrath. Oh, that is a shame. So they managed to wipe our entire field. And pay for everything along the way. Yeah, that sucks. Well, I guess we're going to go for Cavalier of Dawn with literally no value. But I guess it's a nice little flicker target in case they do play something. They must have really enjoyed that board wipe. That is a real shame. We lost so many things, right? So they can basically mutate the following turn. So we basically have to kill the crab now. Luckily, we actually have 3 removal spells. They are searching for... Okay, searching for a brainstorm. That's interesting. So let's try a portable hole, see if they can counter this. Okay, that's interesting. Oops, apologies for that, as my work phone has gone off. Okay, let's swing in then. Yeah, so annoyingly we have lost our card advantage in the Esper Sentinels, so it does make us quite a bit vulnerable. Slightly concerning that they solve the equation for a brainstorm. That's a bit weird. That is very weird, isn't it? Why do they do that? Are they trying to set the turn up? Have they got a spell that maybe casts the top card of the deck or something? I don't have a good feeling about this. Yorion doesn't do very well against combo, I don't think, because the thing about combo, well, not many decks do, to be honest. It's because the nature of combo is it just ignores you, right? It doesn't matter what you do. Your remover doesn't really work. A draw spell would be nice. Restoration's not too bad. Give us a plains. And then we can swing in with the Cavalier. So we could just... If we go for Yorion here... No, it's fine. We'll wait because we actually want stage 2 of the restoration. Oh, so they've got Mizzix's Mastery, haven't they? Yeah. They've got Mizzix's Mastery. Blimey, that's a mouthful. So basically they've got a card that says they can cast every spell in their graveyard, which is quite terrifying. They just drew 2 cards. So I'll discard the land here. And then we can get back the Esper Sentinel. Unless they do something about that trigger. Why do they do that there? Oh, I see, because they don't want to pay the 1 for the Sentinel. Okay, makes sense. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Down to 6. So if we play Yorion here, they're going to have to... They have to use a board wipe or they die? Or maybe one removal spell would save them, I suppose. So yeah, we'll flicker these 2, 3. Then we can also use the portable hole in the treasure as well. Yeah, that seems fine. And if they kill the Esper Sentinel, we can potentially get it back next turn with the Restoration of Oganjo. It's kind of like a soft reanimator spell. Veil of Summer. Okay, so they used it to draw a card. Have they just won here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They could have. It's very possible. Yeah. Yeah, it's not the nicest deck to face because it's just so much kind of mental work trying to figure out what... Switching the power and toughness, that's a bit odd. What was the purpose of this then? I think like Mind's Desire or something. Why would... Oh, just to mutate on top. Right. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Convoluted, but there you go. And where is Omniscience? They've got 6 cards left. That's pretty weird. Are they just going to do the classic maneuver of getting Omniscience out with no cards and drawing your entire deck? Have they done something called Right Royally Effed Up? Because I feel like... Okay, unless they've got... The only thing that would help them is... There's a few cards that let you shuffle your graveyard into your deck, aren't there? But I suppose that would be the... That would mean they were alive? I don't know. I don't know, because then they'd also need some removal spells for us. For our creatures, they've got 3 life. We'll see. Putting cards on top. Shuffling 4 cards in. Okay, I mean, fair enough. How far can you go with this Witness the Future? Shuffle 4 cards in. Keep doing it. Is there a way to keep getting it back, maybe? No idea. So they've replenished some cards, but... Search your library for an instant sorcery. But that... This feels really convoluted. Okay, Magma Opus. Yeah, Esper Sentinel unfortunately only works on the first card. They've got 4 cards left. I mean, they're going to draw 2 from the Magma Opus. Okay. Yeah, they got lucky there. Can they not die here from their own card draw? And yeah, I'm not... Oh, you have to. Oh, you have to. Okay, fine. We'll put the Sentinel back into our hand. I thought it was on top of your deck. That's fair enough. Ice cream's melting now. This game's taking so long. So what is even in our graveyard? A land. So I guess we'd be swapping a land for a land. That's fine. We've got another land we can just play here. Or we could go for Birth of Meletis. Why not? That gives us a land as well. They've got 7 cards in hand. 2 cards on top of the deck. Here's the thing. We actually have quite a few ways to deal with the Omniscience as well. Do Deputy, Banishing Light. Will they have counters for every single one? And also, why are they holding priority on this stupid trigger that doesn't even matter? Well, I don't really know. Why are they holding priority on every trigger? I've stayed... It's so rude. I've stayed so long for this stupid combo deck. Come on. Fair's fair. If I stay for your deck, you stay for mine. Why is everything an ordeal? Okay, so let's start with the Banishing Light here. As if they're using timeouts. They've only got 7 cards in hand. Memory Lapse, okay. That's 1 counter spell. Let's try Baffling End. Just to get rid of this 4/4. Just to see if they do anything, basically. Counter spell. Okay. Do they have another counter then? That would be 3 counters they'd be used for no mana. Oh! And that's what you get when you play cheeky decks, guys and girls. Sod ya. Alrighty, so facing Klothys, God of Destiny. Okay. Our hand isn't so great, but you know, let's try and work around our downfalls here. So we're going to be able to get an island, but unfortunately we're putting a land into our graveyard, which means they get to ramp with Klothys 1 extra turn. So yeah, if she exiles a land from graveyard, they get a mana. Looks like the Healer's Intervention might be good in this matchup, although Klothys is indestructible. I like how they've added the Devotion counter now to the top left. That's pretty cool. So it tells you how close it is to becoming online. Somewhat annoyingly, we can't really do anything else. We've got Synergy and some removal, but... yeah, it's not ideal, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm actually going to kill that, I think. Because I don't want it to get to stage 3 either, and I don't want them to play extra lands. So we basically kind of wasted their mana that turn. And we literally have no synergy, which really sucks. So I guess we're just going to have to wait for the Meteor Golem to come out. So as I said, we are a very slow deck. We're not looking to win within the first 5 or 6 turns, but if you're into the slow kind of methodical gameplay, then this could be for you. I really quite enjoy it. Nissa! Yep, that's definitely not good. Although she only makes forests double mana, and they've only got 2, so... okay, that's not good at all though, is it? Let's face it. Swords, we do have the Baffling End. So that will get rid of the forest. Unless they have some kind of protection. No, okay. And let's see what they do next. 3, 4, 5, 6. If we get a land, we can go for the Meteor Golem, which might be important to get rid of the Nissa, because she wins games. So depending on what they do here, I might not go for the swords. If they go for another creature after this, I'm going to go for the Day of Judgment. That's a 2 for 1. We'll take the 3. Down to 15. And a Torbrun. Okay, fantastic. So that's definitely going to be a Day of... although we could swords... yeah, we'll swords the Klothys because she's indestructible, right? That makes sense. That actually works out really well for us. Solemn Simulacrum. Yeah, I think we're just going to wipe the field here. They only have 1 forest. -8 ultimate, so please let's get a land. That is a shame that we missed our land drops. So they missed a land drop as well, it seems. Wow, so they're tapping out there. So if they ultimate this, they search for any number of forests, put them on the battlefield tapped and shuffle. That's going to be pretty hard to get around. Come on, land. No land. So we might be in a bit of trouble here. As if we missed so many land drops. Kind of insane. Really is. But let's see if they want to lose the Nissa. Do they go up or down? If they go down, we probably lose. Oh, well, that is interesting. Lava coil. So we don't draw a card even. Oh, that's a shame. We go to 6. So it looks like we're just going to lose to these mountains and the Klothys, doesn't it, really? Yeah, see, this is very powerful. So let's see what happens. So we'll kill the Nissa. Yeah, they just... Considering they only had Nissa for a while, the pressure they had on us was crazy. So we have to block the mountain here, annoyingly. Oh, they're going to steal it. Okay, sure. So, bested by a Nissa with 3 lands out. That's how powerful a rare Planeswalker is these days. You know, not even mythic. There we go, moving on. Going up against Krenko Mob Boss, so they're going to be mono red, goblin build. Lots of goblins, lots of tapping to create more goblins. Starting hand's fine. We have the Baffling End for their early goblins and the Banishing Light for their Krenko. And they're not using goblins. So what is going on here? I'm so confused. Gives it a quick creature haste. What? Okay. Not sure why priority has to be held at that moment in time, but there you go. That's one of my pet peeves that you probably all know. Holding priority on things that don't really require it. Why would you want to hold priority on a goblin that you just equipped and attacked with? To cast Lightning Bolt for 1 red mana? I highly doubt that. There is no mercy. That's the thing about this game. You know you want to do it. See, now is a good time to sack this to get red, because then I can use that red mana now to do something like Lightning Bolt Shock. Holding priority for that amount of time to decide that is just a bit unusual. There is no bonus to getting it exiled. Krenko, so that's something we have to get rid of as well. Okay, so if they've got haste and stuff, okay, fine. I'm just going to take the turn off, scry something good, and next turn we're going to Wrath of God. So they'll get a bit of damage in here. But then they lose all their creatures, and that's why board wipes are so integral to the game. Because aggro can't really do much about it. So they're actually interesting. They're actually going to equip it, so they get 3 goblins. Okay, that's fine. So we could Banishing Light it, or Arcanist Owl. Those goblins aren't attacking. Ah, screw it, we'll go for the Arcanist Owl. So I'm being really greedy here with the Wrath of God, but I want them to just play loads of stuff. So they did have a Lightning Bolt. Weird. Guardian Idol. Let's see if they just play the Krenko and attack. So they can definitely do it. Play Krenko, give it haste, tap, create loads of goblins, main phase 2 after the Krenko's attacked. So attack, make 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so they'll make 9-ish goblins. There was a lot of... There's a lot easier way to do the attack they just did. They should have attacked with all and then just taken away the Ornithopter rather than individually tapping 4. Just a little tip there. So, is there anything they can do here to stop us from literally just taking the game over? Who knows? They have a rabbit battery, so okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's a real shame, but there you go. Ooh, facing Arlen Cord. We go first. I think this is definitely a keeper, just because we have the Wrath of God, and by the looks of their deck, they're going to spam us with werewolf, so keeping the Wrath hopefully should keep us alive here. Arlen is a very good planeswalker, making 2 walls, giving stuff flash. Magda's going to be able to ramp them to 5 mana, so I think... Do I just get rid of it here? I think so. We don't want them to ramp too far ahead of us, otherwise it's going to be difficult to push ahead. That's curious. I'm not sure what kind of deck this actually is anymore. So I was initially thinking it was a werewolf build, but looks like she gives her +1 to any creature, not just werewolves. Intervention. Okay, let's go for the Chromatic Lantern here. And then pass the turn. So in their turn, if they go for the Arlen Cord... Ooh, that's going to make their wolves really strong. No, we will not block that, thank you. We have 4 mana. I think we need to go for the Charming Prince to scry some lands to the top here. Yeah, land on top is perfect. And yeah, we will pass the turn. So we have a bit of nice counterplay here. If we flicker the Skyclave Apparition, they'll get the 2/2 Guardian Project. That could be something we have to get rid of. Okay, we'll take 2. So is this the time to go for Yorion? We will be able to exile something else. Yeah, I think that's fine. And I think exiling the Guardian Project is the thing to do here. Because we really don't want them to get more cards. Although we can actually flicker something else again. Get another trigger. Okay, so if we go for Yorion. Or maybe we should get rid of the Gromgully here. Guardian Project. The Guardian Project does get them more cards though. And we will not put that in the command zone because otherwise Yorion will not be able to re-enter the battlefield using the trigger we have. Scavenging use, so basically this Wrath of God is looking fantastic. Yeah, let's block the Pyromancer. Not too bothered about getting another retrigger here. Down to 18. Are they going to kill the Skyclave Apparition here? Struggle. Okay, fair enough. That just means our Wrath of God is a lot better. Yeah, so we'll flicker the Skyclave Apparition. And that does mean that the Wrath of God is quite a bit better now because it doesn't actually kill our own creatures. But the Skyclave Apparition does also come in with no trigger, so it's a kind of swings and roundabouts scenario there. But we've got rid of quite a lot of their good stuff. Here comes Arlen. They don't know we have a Thassa, but that's going to be really helpful. If they go for the 2 creatures, that's bad for us. But if they go tick up, then I think that's interesting.
Attack when they're most vulnerable.
Very interesting. So we'll attack them, considering that our Thassa is just going to exile the Arlen. Yeah, looks like Skullclave Apparition and Thassa is strong enough to hold off the fort despite only having a few lands there. We go first against Mila, Crafty Companion, kind of a rare build, which I always like to see. So there could be one of two decks, more aggressive creature-based deck, which has some reanimation in it, potentially with a -2 bringing creature back, or there could be a Planeswalker build because the triggers proc for a permanent being attacked or targeted there. Let's go for the Confounding Conundrum, which is basically useless versus white-red, but there may be a few cards that ramp them. Esper Sentinel here, always fantastic, don't really have to explain this one. Rip Apart. Interesting, so that might mean they have the dog in the hand that gives them a land if we have more lands than them. So what I think I'm going to do here is Chromatic Lantern into the Esper Sentinel, which is nice. So they go for the dog this turn, they get to ramp. Oh no, maybe not then in that case. Makes you wonder why they went for the Rip Apart then, if they weren't going to ramp. Because this is just a non-lethal threat versus their deck, essentially. Unless they were just thinking ahead maybe to stop us getting a redraw with the Yorion Flicker. And of course they managed to pay for the Esper Sentinel, which is always quite annoying. But I guess we'll just keep drawing cards and see where this heads. For now, all we can do... I mean, they've got seemingly quite a few removal spells so far. It makes me wonder if they have an endgame plan here. Dragon's Horde, so it feels like it could be a dragon-y based deck. So let's firstly draw the Filth up. Holding priority there, don't know, it could be anything. Could be Lightning Bolt. Circuit Mender, wonderful. So yeah, we're just going to spaff the field. And next turn, if we have any survivors, Yorion's going to pick them up, swoop them in, let us re-trigger their triggers, which is just amazing. Very low bar to success with the Yorion, so building this, even if you used your worst ETBs, you'll probably find you get some great value. Looks like the opponent is missing a land drop. Definitely with the creation of the treasure there. And what can we do? So we can go for a couple of sneaky things. So firstly, let's go for the Deputy of Detention. We will get rid of this treasure. So that takes them off. And then we're basically setting up our following turn with the Yorion even more. So when using Deputy of Detention, one tip I would give you is exile the things like tokens that don't come back first. That means if you re-trigger the ability, you'll then not unleash hell, giving them the original target back. So you always get rid of the things that permanently disappear first. Why are they not casting Mila, I wonder? Interesting. Okay, so let's go to combat. See what they do here. Blocking the Deputy. And, yeah, time for the Yorion here. Getting some wonderful re-triggers of all our lovely cards. And, killing the Deputy. Fair enough, that makes sense, because we were going to go for the Dragon's Horde. And looks like they might have some more interaction here. Swords. Sure, that's fine. We still get the re-trigger. And we can do it again next turn. So this is the thing about Yorion. When you kill a Yorion, it's actually not good. It's actually more beneficial to kind of leave the Yorion on the battlefield, because all that's going to happen is you're making it easier for the opponent to recast everything. What you want to do is actually kill everything else, because look at the cards we're gaining off the 3 that we just brought back. It's crazy. And we're at 40 life versus a red deck. And how they're going to do that damage, we will find out soon enough. Fumigate, sure. So that gets rid of everything. We got a card. More wonderful retargets. Meteor Golem. Oof, that's quite mean, isn't it? Yeah, I guess we'll go for the Dragon's Horde. Slow them down even more. See, if they are some kind of reanimation package, then we are stopping them from getting Luca out. And we might as well go for the Charming Prince to get a few scries. Obviously, if they had more permanents, we could have flickered the Meteor Golem with the Charming Prince. Midnight Clock is actually decent because eventually we're going to want to recoup our hand, and we don't have a way to do that apart from the Solemn Simulacrum re-trigger. So always start with the attack. Trying to weed out any cards that may pose a problem to Yorion. Go for the Solemn. There is no reason to go for Yorion here. Not yet anyway. Not especially when we have a Golem out without any targets. And then we might even be able to start putting some counters on the Midnight Clock, which will be able to rejuvenate our hand. So the opponent's inaction here is, yeah, it's fine. We've got the Fateful Absence, so we can just literally kill the Wandering Emperor.
You started this
Not a
fight,
problem.
but I'm going to end it.
Maybe I should have used the mana there to go for the Midnight Clock and then done the Fateful Absence in our own turn, but what are you going to do? So they basically spent 4 mana to exile one of our creatures. And they chose the Charming Prince, interestingly enough. So it really looks like they're going for the 6 mana Luca here, which is interesting because we have a lot of targeting cards so far, and they probably would have drawn a lot of cards using Mila, so... Right. We might as well attack with both. I honestly don't mind losing the Solemn here. Each of us draws a card. Hall of the Storm Giants, nice. That could be a win con. This is a 7 power creature, that's a couple of hits there. And, yeah, let's just pass the turn. They don't know what we have. We could have any number of counter spells, but of course, you know the channel, we don't run many counter spells here because we don't like them. It's not that they're bad, it's just because they're a bit boring. That's the secret. Farewell, that's very bad. So annoyingly, we don't know the modes he has chosen, and by the time they've chosen the modes it'll be too late, so we're just going to have to draw stuff, I suppose. Draw a card. We might as well cycle this to see if there's any way you can interact with that. Sure. Looks like they're going to exile everything. Okay. Pretty good hit there. So now what we're going to start doing is exiling their graveyard, because the 6 mana Luca... Okay, they've only got 1 card, so we can cast sorceries off the top. We do have a Vantress though. 3, 4, 5, 6... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we might as well activate him and then swing in. So they are literally going to die next turn unless they can deal with the Hall of Storm Giants, which will mean they have to use the Field of Ruin. So that should potentially waste their turn if they have to do that, because they don't think they can Field of Ruin and use the big 6 mana Luke in the same turn. And there you go. All we have to do sometimes is survive. So hopefully you enjoyed those games. If you've had fun watching this video, don't forget to leave me a like and a sub, and to check out my Ko-fi donations page, where you can donate as little or as much as you want. And check out some more videos to keep watching.